Welcome to Bemanda Podcast, your frontline source for smart, sharp, and straight talk on IT trends, tech truths, and digital transformation. Here is today's podcast in English.
Have you ever found yourself in that situation where your organization desperately needs a public-facing website, something that seamlessly connects with your internal data, your processes, but the thought of months of traditional coding, complex infrastructure, never-ending development cycles, it just makes your head spin, right? Imagine building sophisticated, secure web experiences for your customers, partners, maybe even your community, all without getting bogged down in those, traditional web development complexities. If that vision resonates with you, then you're in exactly the right place today. We're taking a deep dive into Microsoft Power Pages, our goal, to really demystify this incredibly powerful low-code platform and unlock its potential for you. And just to be crystal clear, everything we're exploring today, all the insights, the scenarios, the technical bits, it's all based entirely on the excellent Bemanda technology training material on Microsoft Power Pages. It's a fantastic resource, truly, and we're aiming to bring its core wisdom directly to you.
Exactly. That's precisely our mission today, to equip you with a really robust foundational understanding of Power Pages. We want to move beyond just listing features. We want to explore its core components, its practical applications, and maybe most importantly, help you envision how it can genuinely transform your external-facing web needs. We're looking for those aha moments, the kind that make complex technical concepts just click into place, giving you clarity, giving you confidence to maybe integrate this into your digital strategy.
All right, let's unpack this then. We hear low-code web development thrown around a lot, but what exactly is Power Pages? And why is it making such significant waves right now in the digital landscape?
Okay, so at its core, Power Pages is a modern low-code platform. It's a key member of the wider Microsoft Power Platform family. Its fundamental purpose: to empower organizations, big, small, doesn't matter, to design, configure, and then rapidly publish secure, responsive, external-facing websites. And when we say external-facing, you should think of things like portals specifically built for your customers to self-serve, right? Or for partners to collaborate, or even for the general public to engage with your services or your community. This isn't just about building any website. It's specifically about building data-driven websites that interact directly with your business processes. See, unlike traditional web development, which often means starting from scratch, writing thousands, maybe tens of thousands of lines of custom code, needing deep, specialized coding skills, Power Pages is built to be accessible. It empowers both citizen developers, those folks with deep business knowledge but maybe limited coding experience, and professional developers. It allows them to create rich web experiences, mainly using these really intuitive visual tools and powerful kind of out-of-the-box integrations. So it's not just about saving lines of code, though that's part of it. It's really about fundamentally democratizing web development. It lets business users rapidly iterate on solutions that, traditionally required these long, specialized developer cycles. It really shifts an organization's focus away from the plumbing, the infrastructure of the web, and towards rapidly addressing specific business needs and market opportunities.
That distinction feels really critical. And it hasn't always been called Power Pages, has it? I seem to recall something about portals being associated with Power Apps before.
You're absolutely right to remember that, yeah. Power Pages actually evolved directly from what was previously known as Power Apps portals. And this rebranding, it wasn't just a cosmetic name change. It really represented a significant modernization push by Microsoft. The goal was, to align it more tightly with the broader Power Platform vision, to simplify its interface, and, crucially, offer a much improved design studio and more intuitive site editing experience. This evolution really signals Microsoft's deeper commitment to making web development accessible, efficient, and deeply integrated with the whole Power Platform ecosystem.
Okay, so whether you're a citizen developer or a seasoned pro coming to this, what are the key capabilities? Like, what can someone actually do with Power Pages?
Well, the capabilities are surprisingly extensive for something called low code, offering this nice blend of speed and power. Firstly, you can build custom branded portals. This means creating a unique digital front door for pretty much any external audience, customers, partners, suppliers, the public, all tailored to your organization's specific look and feel, your branding. It ensures that consistent professional digital presence. Secondly, and this is honestly a game changer for data-driven organizations, you can connect forms and views directly to Dataverse tables. This allows for seamless, real-time data collection and interaction with your core backend systems. Imagine users submitting info directly into your central database or viewing their own personalized data without needing complex custom API integrations. That direct read-write to Dataverse. It's a cornerstone of Power Pages' power.
So we're genuinely talking about eliminating manual data entry, right? And avoiding those complex, often brittle, bespoke integrations between a web form and a database. It just happens securely, automatically. It's a huge efficiency gain right there.
Precisely. And beyond just data interaction, Power Pages lets you design layouts using intuitive drag-and-drop components. This is where that low-code visual aspect really shines. It empowers makers to visually arrange things like text blocks, images, buttons, other interactive elements really easily. But, and this is important, for those who need more granular control or bespoke functionality, it's also highly extensible. You can inject custom HTML, CSS for advanced styling, JavaScript for client-side logic, and these powerful liquid templates for dynamic content rendering. So this blend of low-code and pro-code capabilities means you're not really boxed in. And finally, maybe the most critical piece for any external site. Power Pages allows you to securely manage access for both anonymous and authenticated users. This means you can easily maintain public, open pages right alongside private, logged-in sections. With robust authentication handled through familiar providers like Azure AD for corporate folks, Microsoft accounts, or even external identity providers like Google or Facebook for broader public access, the security architecture ensures only authorized users get to sensitive info. To help visualize this, maybe think of Power Pages as like a highly specialized, secure, public-facing stage for your organization. While traditional web development might be like building the entire concert hall from scratch, laying foundations, putting up walls, installing every single pipe and wire, Power Pages gives you this state-of-the-art, pre-wired stage. It comes equipped with like all the lighting, sound systems, sophisticated security checkpoints, even the dressing rooms you might need. Your job is basically just to quickly customize this advanced stage, light it up with your branding, and bring your performance, your unique business processes and data directly to your audience. It abstracts away all that underlying complexity.
That analogy really works. It paints a clear picture of the abstraction Power Pages offers. So it's not just building faster, but building smarter by using these pre-built advanced structures. Now, you've mentioned the Power Platform ecosystem a few times. How does Power Pages really fit in? How does it integrate with its siblings? Dataverse, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI.
It's all about creating these truly unified end-to-end digital experiences. Power Pages isn't some standalone thing. It's designed to be deeply integrated within the Power Platform. Let's start with Dataverse. As I mentioned, it's the absolute bedrock, the primary data backend for Power Pages. You can think of Dataverse as your secure backstage database, right? Holding all the data and metadata for your entire Power Platform solution. Power Pages is then the polished front stage that presents and interacts with that data. It reads info directly from Dataverse tables and writes user submissions straight back into them. This ensures data consistency across your whole digital ecosystem, which helps eliminate those dreaded data silos. Then there's Power Apps. Power Pages complements both model-driven and Canvas apps beautifully by providing those external public-facing interfaces. So while an internal Power App might be used by your employees to manage, say, customer service records, Power Pages lets your external customers log in and interact with a subset of that data. Maybe view their order history, update contact info, or create a support ticket. They work hand in hand, bridging internal operations with external engagement.
Got it. And for automating things, for workflows, that's where Power Automate comes in, I assume?
Exactly. Power Automate is used for automating all sorts of backend workflows based on interactions happening right within Power Pages. For example, if a customer submits a new form on your portal, you could have a Power Automate flow that automatically sends them a confirmation email, kicks off an internal approval process, updates records in some legacy system, or maybe even generates a PDF document. It takes those manual, repetitive tasks and just makes them automatic. A huge boost to efficiency. And finally, we have Power BI. Power Pages lets you embed interactive dashboards and reports directly into your web pages for external audiences. This is incredibly powerful for providing real-time data insights, whether it's partners viewing their sales performance, customers tracking their service usage, or community members seeing impact metrics. Together, these tools let you create truly connected, intelligent digital experiences, seamlessly bridging your internal systems with external users through this single unified platform.
That integration really makes Power Pages feel less like just a website builder and more like a dynamic extension of your actual business operations. So for our listeners tuning in, how does this translate into, tangible, real-world solutions for common business challenges. Can you give us some concrete examples that really bring this to life?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most common and impactful applications is the customer self-service portal. Instead of customers having to call or email for every single query, these portals let them log in, create their own support cases, view their order history, schedule appointments, or access a knowledge base for FAQs. Think about a busy tech support company, right? Instead of inbound calls just flooding their call center, customers use a Power Pages portal. They can check ticket status, review troubleshooting guides, log new issues themselves. It drastically cuts call volume and improves customer satisfaction by offering 24/7 access.
That immediately saves time, saves resources for the company, while also empowering the customer. What about for businesses interacting mainly with other businesses, suppliers, partners?
For that scenario, partner or supplier portals are perfect. These empower external partners or vendors to securely submit invoices, access shared reports, manage their own profiles, or view shared project data. It really streamlines those B2B interactions. Imagine a large manufacturer. They could build a Power Pages portal where their suppliers can effortlessly upload delivery manifests, check their payment history, update company certifications, maybe even collaborate on shared product designs, all in one centralized, secure spot. It transforms that whole supply chain interaction from, cumbersome emails and spreadsheets to a smooth, collaborative digital experience.
Okay, so it's not just for strict business transactions. Could also be used for engaging with a wider community, maybe a nonprofit or a public sector organization?
Oh, absolutely. Community hubs are ideal for this. These are public-facing websites built with Power Pages specifically for sharing updates, collecting feedback, or fostering engagement with volunteers or community members. Picture a local nonprofit. They could create a Power Pages community hub where volunteers can easily sign up for events, access training materials, see event schedules, maybe even share success stories. It fosters a stronger sense of community and makes volunteer management way more efficient than, say, manual sign-up sheets.
What if an organization needs to manage applications, like for grants or maybe university admissions? That often involves complex forms and tracking.
That's another incredibly strong use case. Grant or application management sites. These facilitate secure form submissions and application tracking for things like funding, services, or benefits. Take a university, for instance. They could use Power Pages for prospective students to submit their applications, track their admission status in real time, upload required documents like transcripts, maybe even schedule interviews. It provides a streamlined, secure, and transparent application experience compared to, traditional paper or email-based processes. And just to round out the examples, Power Pages is also excellent for training and certification portals. You can host learning content, track course completion, allow users to submit assignments or download their certificates. It makes learning management accessible to external users easily.
Wow, that's quite a diverse and impactful set of applications. Really shows the platform's versatility. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to the practical side. Licensing. How does Power Pages licensing actually work? Because I understand it's quite different from other Power Platform licenses.
It is, yeah. It's distinct. Power Pages uses a usage-based licensing model, which sets it apart from the typical per-user licenses you might see with Power Apps or Power Automate. Its licensing is primarily based on two key metrics: authenticated user access and anonymous page views. So for authenticated users, those people who log in using Azure AD, Microsoft accounts, or other identity providers you set up, you're typically billed per user per month. For anonymous users, visitors hitting public pages without logging in, you're billed per page view per month. This model gives you immense flexibility because you basically pay for what you use. It lets organizations start small and then scale their website capacity as user adoption grows. And if you anticipate really large-scale usage, you can purchase capacity packs to handle additional authenticated user logins or anonymous page views. It's a cost-effective way to scale for peak demand.
And I think there are different feature tiers within that as well, right? Adding another layer of flexibility.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. Power Pages offers tiered capabilities corresponding to different license levels. This lets you choose the right feature set for your specific needs. The basic tier is perfect for starting out. Supports simple forms, basic views, foundational table permissions. Gets you going. The standard tier significantly ramps things up. Adds more advanced form rules, the powerful liquid templates for dynamic content, much richer custom styling options, and deeper authentication integration. Then, for organizations building truly enterprise-level solutions, there's the premium tier. This tier unlocks advanced capabilities like robust application lifecycle management, or ALM features, which is basically a structured, governed way to manage your application through its whole lifecycle, from dev to deployment to maintenance. It also enables deeper API extensibility for more complex integrations, allows for custom domains, and supports enterprise-scale configurations for those high-volume, mission-critical portals.
Right. This tiered, usage-based model really does offer tremendous flexibility. It means organizations aren't locked into some rigid pricing structure. They can scale their websites as needed, whether launching a small community hub or building a huge enterprise customer service portal. It's not one size fits all, which is exactly what a lot of businesses need.
Absolutely. So just to quickly recap this section, Power Pages is a low-code, highly scalable platform in the Microsoft Power Platform family. It's specifically engineered for building secure, data-driven websites for external users. It integrates seamlessly with Dataverse, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, enabling genuinely unified and intelligent digital experiences. It's truly where low-code meets the web, offering a faster path to impactful web development.
That gives us a really solid overview. Now, as our listeners are thinking about their own organizations, what's maybe one immediate challenge or like a quick win scenario? They might identify where Power Pages could be a solution, something they struggled with using traditional methods, perhaps.
And given that unique usage-based licensing model for Power Pages, what's a key budgetary consideration an organization should really keep in mind if they're planning a large-scale implementation versus, say, a smaller, more contained portal?
Okay, here's a quick mental challenge for you listening. Think about a situation in your own organization where external users currently interact with your data or processes manually, maybe through emails, phone calls, perhaps even paper forms. How might a Power Pages site transform that specific interaction into a streamlined, self-service digital experience? Just brainstorm one use case.
Okay, so now that we've got a good handle on what Power Pages is and its place in the whole ecosystem, let's peel back the layers a bit. Let's understand how it's actually built. What are the fundamental components, the sort of gears and levers that make this low-code platform tick under the hood?
Right, so if we're actually building a Power Pages website, what are those foundational pieces, the components that come together to create that digital experience, how content is shown, secured, managed?
Yeah, Power Pages websites are basically put together using several foundational components, and each one plays a specific, crucial role. First off, we have web pages. These are your individual pages on the site, just like any page you visit online. They're hierarchical, meaning you can nest child pages under parent pages, which helps establish a logical, easy-to-navigate site structure. Crucially, each web page is linked to things like a page template, web files, and web roles. These collectively define its layout, the assets it uses, and who can access it. These are really your core canvases, defining what users see and interact with. Next up, you've got web templates. These are incredibly powerful. They're reusable blocks of HTML and liquid-based markup used for custom content rendering. Think of them like custom blueprints or maybe molds for content blocks or even entire page sections. They allow for dynamic logic, meaning the content they render can change based on Dataverse data, user context, or other variables. That's what makes your site truly personalized.
Okay, so if web templates are like custom stencils for your website, instead of drawing the same design over and over, you just stamp out the stencil wherever you need it. And it can even pull in different details each time based on who's looking. That really makes the site feel dynamic and personal.
That's a perfect way to put it, yeah. It's all about efficiency and dynamic rendering. Building on that, we have page layouts. These define the overall structure and appearance of content on a page. They often combine web templates with linked CSS style sheets and JavaScript files to enforce a unified structure and a consistent look and feel across your entire site. They ensure elements are positioned correctly and responsively across different devices. Then we have web files. This is where you store all your static assets, things like images, video files, style sheets, CSS, JavaScript files, and downloadable documents like PDFs. They're managed centrally in Dataverse, but are accessible via public or secured URLs. This means all your site assets are version controlled and easily referenced by your pages or templates. And finally, a truly critical component, especially for external portals, web roles. These are the absolute backbone of your security model. They control access rights to specific pages, forms, views, and other resources on your site. Web roles get assigned to authenticated users based on their login, and they're used together with table permissions to govern exactly what data users can see, interact with, or modify. To maybe continue our concert analogy from earlier, imagine web roles like different colored wristbands at a music festival, right? Each color gives you access to different zones within the venue. A VIP wristband that's like a specific web role grants you access to the exclusive backstage area, which could be your restricted pages or sensitive data. Meanwhile, A general admission wristband gives access only to the public areas. It's a very clear, intuitive way to segment and manage user access across your portal.
That concert wristband analogy is brilliant, really sticks. So if I'm getting this right, the wristband, the web roll, gets you into the general area, right? But then the security checkpoint, which I guess is the table of permission we'll talk more about, that checks what specific data you're allowed to touch within that area, even if you have the right wristband. That's the key distinction.
Absolutely. Nailed it. The web role defines a type of user and the broad areas they can enter. Table permissions provide the granular control over the specific data records within those areas. It's a powerful two-tier security system. And speaking of data, you've mentioned Dataverse being central to all this. Can you elaborate a bit more on why it's so fundamental to the whole Power Pages architecture?
Yeah, Dataverse isn't just important, it is the foundational data and metadata backend for Power Pages. Every single structural element of your Power Pages site, whether it's a web page, a custom template, an uploaded web file, a security role, even configuration settings, it's all stored as a record in a Dataverse table. This deep native integration gives you several critical benefits. First, centralized data storage. Power Pages reads from and writes directly to Dataverse tables, enabling that seamless real-time interaction with your business data without complex integrations or data replication. Second, it ensures robust and secure data access. Dataverse's own security model, combined with Power Pages table permissions, provides granular row and column level control over who accesses what.
Only authorized users see their relevant data. And third, it offers seamless integration with all other Power Platform services. This means Power Automate flows can trigger directly from Power Pages data submissions, Power Apps can manage internal processes using the same data, Power BI dashboards can analyze it. It creates a truly unified digital ecosystem. And beyond these core pieces, Power Pages is also built for scale and global reach. It supports multi-site and multi-language configurations, making it really suitable for global enterprises or localized portals serving diverse audiences. Each website you build is essentially its own solution container within a Power Platform environment. It has its own metadata about languages, custom domains, authentication providers. For language support, Power Pages allows content to be translated into multiple languages. Each page, content snippet, label, they can all have translations stored in associated language tables. This lets the portal dynamically switch content based on the user's preference or browser settings, giving a truly localized feel. And as for content types, like we mentioned, they're all stored as records in Dataverse web pages, web files, content snippets, web templates. This data-driven approach means content is dynamically rendered by the page runtime engine, ensuring your portal is always up to date and tailored without static coding.
Okay, now when it comes to actually building and configuring these sites, I understand there are two main ways, two primary interfaces that developers interact with. Can you tell us about those?
That's right. You primarily interact with Power Pages through either the Power Pages Design Studio, that's the modern, very visual experience, or the Power Apps Portals Management app, which is the classic, more granular configuration experience. The Design Studio is a low-code, visual, drag-and-drop interface. It's perfect for rapidly creating and editing pages, forms, layouts. It's really designed for makers and newer developers because it abstracts a lot of the underlying complexity. It allows for quick builds with immediate live site previews. It's probably where you'll spend most of your time doing visual construction.
Right, this sounds like where the citizen developer really gets to shine, being able to visually put something together without needing deep coding knowledge. Let's maybe imagine a quick scenario. Say we have a citizen developer, CD, and a UI designer, UID, working together. CD might say, hey, check out this new volunteer sign-up form I just mocked up in the Power Pages Design Studio. The drag and drop made it so fast to get the layout just right. And the UID responds, wow, that's incredibly quick. I can immediately see how the components sit together, and that live preview helps me visualize the user experience instantly. We can iterate on the look and feel so much faster this way, get feedback almost immediately. CD, exactly. For visual changes, for getting that US right, it's an absolute dream. We can go from idea to interactive prototype in a fraction of the time.
And that rapid iteration, just like you heard in that little dialogue, is a massive advantage. Now, on the other hand, the Power Apps Portals Management app is a model-driven Power App. It exposes those underlying Dataverse tables for advanced, highly granular configuration. This is where professional developers, or anyone needing deep control, will go for the complex stuff. Think managing intricate web templates, defining precise web roles, setting up granular entity permissions, fine-tuning content snippets, or implementing sophisticated liquid logic or custom scripts. It's preferred when you need absolute precise control over every aspect of the portal's behavior and security. Our best practice advice, and this comes straight from the Bemanda training material, is really to embrace a combined approach. Use the design studio for your visual layout, content creation, basic styling, and then leverage the portal's management app for the deep configuration, advanced customization, and critically, those security settings. Combining both tools gives you the best of both worlds: speed and visual intuition alongside granular control and enterprise-grade customization.
Okay, that makes sense. So Power Pages architecture is cleverly layered, it's modular, and it uses Dataverse as its core backbone. It offers both these incredibly intuitive visual tools for speed and deep granular control for complexity. Makes it truly versatile. Before we move on, what's maybe a fundamental distinction between what you typically manage in the design studio versus something that really needs you to go into the portal's management app?
And thinking about how data is structured and presented on the portal, what's the key architectural difference between a web template and a page layout in Power Pages? How do they work together?
All right, here's one for our listeners planning a new portal. Imagine you're building a new section. It needs highly dynamic, personalized content for logged-in users, maybe showing their specific dashboard based on their role. Beyond just the basic page, which specific Power Pages architectural components would you need to combine to create that dynamic, personalized welcome back message and the unique content for them? All right, so you've got the vision, you understand the architecture, you're ready to build. What's the absolute first step? How do you bring your Power Pages vision to life and get a site up and running?
Yeah, the initial steps are pretty straightforward, but they're crucial. You basically begin by choosing how you want to start building your site. You can either pick from a selection of predefined templates, or you can start from a completely blank site, which gives you ultimate flexibility and control.
Starting with templates sounds like it could be a massive time saver for common scenarios. Can you tell us a bit more about those? What kind of head start do they offer?
Oh, absolutely. Templates are fantastic for rapid prototyping or if your needs align closely with typical business patterns. Power Pages offers several of these ready-made templates. They come pre-configured with pages, Dataverse tables, forms, content layouts, all tailored to specific scenarios. For instance, there's the customer self-service portal template. This gives you a pre-built portal where customers can log in, submit support cases, search knowledge articles, track service requests. It's ideal for boosting customer engagement and reducing support workload, perfect for, say, a software company providing 247 support resources. Then there's the partner portal template. This provides a secure environment for external partners or vendors to access shared data, submit documents, manage profiles, collaborate on business processes. Think of a large distribution company letting partners track orders, manage inventory, access marketing stuff, all streamlined through this portal. We also see templates like the scheduling app. This integrates with Microsoft Bookings or even custom Dataverse tables, allowing users to view availability and schedule appointments, commonly used by healthcare clinics for patient scheduling, or maybe service providers for client bookings. And for organizations handling applications, there's the application submission portal template. This is specifically designed for collecting and managing applications, things like grant requests, job applications, university admissions. It supports multi-step forms, status tracking, document uploads, makes it ideal for a government agency processing grant requests or a university managing student applications. These templates really give you a significant head start by providing a functional, pre-configured base for common needs.
Okay, so templates are great for those common scenarios, quick launches. But what if your organization needs something completely unique, highly customized, maybe deeply industry specific that just doesn't fit any existing template?
That's exactly where creating a blank site comes in. This option gives you full, unconstrained control over the design and configuration right from the ground up. When you choose a blank site, developers have to manually define the entire page structure. That includes creating and organizing the hierarchy of web pages, designing navigation menus, building custom page templates to ensure a logical, intuitive user experience. You'll also manually define all the Dataverse table integrations, connecting your site to specific Dataverse tables to enable that robust data capture and display through custom forms, views, tailored business logic. And critically, you'll manually set up all the permissions and navigation, meticulously controlling access by configuring web roles, table permissions, carefully building navigation menus, sitemaps to direct users precisely based on their roles and access rights. This comprehensive manual approach is generally recommended for custom, complex, or highly specialized portals that demand truly unique designs, custom workflows, or specific industry behaviors not covered by the templates. One absolute must, though, before creating any site template or blank, is to ensure your Power Platform environment actually has Dataverse enabled. It's the indispensable backend for all portal data and configuration.
Got it. So once you've got your site started, template or blank, how do you actually, build and shape it? What's the main interface you'll be working in day to day?
The Power Pages Design Studio is really the primary visual interface for developing, managing the layout, and configuring the content of your Power Pages site. It's purpose-built for low-code development, enabling both citizen makers and pro developers to interact with the portal structure intuitively, visually. Within the Design Studio, you'll find several main areas. The Pages workspace, where you add, rename, organize your site pages into a hierarchy, manage basic access levels. The Styling section, which lets you apply consistent themes, color palettes, font families across the whole site, aligning with your brand. The Components pane, where you literally drag and drop interactive elements like text blocks, images, buttons, data forms, Dataverse views, or embedded content like Power BI. The Data workspace, which connects you right to your Dataverse tables, letting you configure data permissions and easily add forms and views to your pages. And of course, the Preview and Live Site option to quickly flip between editing and seeing your site in real time, validating changes instantly. The Design Studio's main job is to abstract away the underlying complexity, making it great for quickly building compelling UIs and data-driven pages without deep coding.
Right. Every successful website has those foundational settings governing behavior, access, presentation. What about Power Pages? How do you manage its core configurations? Well, you can get a lot of site metadata.
Yeah, site metadata is absolutely crucial. It's like the operational DNA of your Power Pages site. Every site has this collection of configurations that govern its fundamental structure, access rules, language support, overall operational behavior. These settings really define how the site functions. Key elements include bindings or site URLs. These associate your site with one or more domains. You can use the default .powerxportals.com domain Microsoft gives you, or more typically configure a custom domain like support.mycompany.com for that professional branded look. This is how users actually find your portal. Then there are authentication settings, which are paramount for secured portals. These determine exactly how users log in to access secured content. Power Pages supports a wide-range Azure Active Directory for enterprise users B2B, Microsoft accounts for the general public, external identity providers like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn using OpenID Connect or OAuth 2.0. You can even set up local authentication, letting users create an email password account managed directly by the portal.
And for organizations with a global user base, robust language support is absolutely key, right? Not just an afterthought.
Precisely. The language's metadata enables comprehensive multi-language support. Developers can activate multiple languages and then provide meticulous translations for every piece of content, pages, templates, forms, labels, snippets. This lets the portal dynamically switch content based on user preference or browser settings, delivering a truly localized experience. Finally, there are site settings. These are more advanced configuration options controlling various aspects of site performance and behavior. Things like fine-tuning session, timeout duration, setting file upload size limits, configuring portal caching for optimal performance, enabling or disabling specific features across the portal. All these crucial settings are conveniently stored in the site setting table within Dataverse, ensuring centralized management. While the Design Studio handles the more common, basic settings here, the Portals Management app is where you typically go for the more intricate, advanced setup of this metadata, where you need that granular control.
Okay, so once a site is built, configured with all its metadata, how do you manage its ongoing availability, its visibility to the world?
Managing site visibility is critical. You need control over who sees what at different stages. You can easily enable or disable your Power Pages site. Disabling a site is super useful for maintenance, applying big updates, or just temporarily hiding the portal during development. When disabled, it removes public DNS bindings and usually shows a customizable error or maintenance message. Re-enabling it seamlessly restores full functionality, no data loss. For more granular, content-specific visibility control, you primarily use web roles and page permissions. This powerful combo lets you precisely set whether public anonymous access is allowed or restricted on a per-page, even per component level. You leverage site settings and table permissions to ensure only intended users view or submit data, preventing unauthorized access. A really strong best practice, emphasized consistently in the Bemanda training material, is to always ensure public visibility is disabled in your development and testing environments. This prevents accidentally exposing work-in-progress pages, unconfigured forms, or unsecured content before your portal is truly ready for prime time. It's a fundamental security step.
Got it. So site creation involves choosing templates or building from scratch, using the design studio, configuring essential metadata. And managing visibility and access is key right from day one for a secure, functional portal. That's a lot up front. When would a team really decide to go for creating a blank Power Pages site versus using one of those valuable pre-built templates? What's the core trade-off they're making there?
And thinking about a portal going live, what are the primary functions of site bindings and authentication settings within that site metadata? Why are those configurations absolutely crucial for a functional, accessible portal?
All right, here's a brief thought exercise for you. Imagine you've developed a Power Pages site and you want to use a custom domain like support.yourcompany.com. What would be the practical, high-level steps you need to take to connect that specific domain to your Power Pages site once it's created and ready to go public?
Okay, so once your Power Pages site is up and configured, that's really when the creative work starts. Designing the actual pages, making them not just functional, but also really engaging, intuitive, and impactful for your users.
Now, when it comes to creating and editing those individual web pages, you mentioned that dual approach, using both the Visual Design Studio and the more granular Portals Management app. How do those two really complement each other in the page design process?
Yeah, they truly work hand in hand. The Power Pages Design Studio is your main visual workbench for that rapid low-code development. It offers a fluid drag-and-drop experience, fantastic for quickly building responsive web pages, and gives you that immediate, real-time preview. You see exactly what users will see. You'll primarily use it to create new pages, easily edit titles and URLs, organize the page hierarchy with parent-child relationships, and manage fundamental visibility and security settings. It's all about speed, visual construction, iterating quickly on the UI. However, for the more advanced, deeper configurations or tasks needing specific data relationships, you'll still lean on the Portals Management app. This is that model-driven app exposing the underlying Dataverse tables where all portal metadata lives. Here, you get full granular control. You can associate pages with custom web templates for unique layouts, add complex page metadata for SEO or advanced rendering, precisely link pages to specific web roles or content snippets to control dynamic content. Our best practice recommendation, again from the Bemanda material, is to embrace this combined approach. Use the Design Studio for visual layout, content population, initial styling. Then dive into the Portals Management app for deeper customization, complex admin tasks, and detailed security settings. It leverages the strengths of both tools.
That makes perfect sense. Now, pages themselves are built using concepts like sections and components. How do those elements help structure a responsive design that looks good on any device?
Yeah, web pages and Power Pages are intelligently structured using a combo of layout containers and content components that inherently support responsive design and flexible customization. Essentially, pages are built using rows and columns organized into logical sections. These sections, along with layout grids, are key to defining how your content behaves across different screen sizes: mobile, tablet, desktop. Developers can pick from predefined, optimized layouts or create custom grid arrangements to get the look they want and ensure content flows naturally and looks good everywhere. To maybe use another analogy, think of sections and layout grids like the architectural blueprint of a custom-built house. They define where the walls go, how many rooms you have, and crucially, how flexible those spaces are, like an open-plan living area adapting to different furniture. This ensures your content fits perfectly, whether it's on a giant screen or a tiny phone. It's about creating adaptable canvases.
That's a very clear mental model. And within those sections, you then populate them with various components. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. Each section can then be filled with a wide array of reusable components. These include simple things like text blocks for static or rich HTML content, images and media for logos, banners, embedded videos, and buttons and links for navigation or triggering actions. But where it gets really powerful is embedding those Dataverse-powered components. You can seamlessly embed Power Pages, basic forms for data capture, Dataverse views for displaying lists of records, Power BI reports for interactive dashboards, Power Virtual Agents bots for conversational AI, or even custom iframes for more complex integrations. All these components can be configured right in the design studio for alignment, spacing, specific behaviors. For example, a marketing team planning a new event registration page might want a clear call to action button. They'd just use the design studio, drag and drop a button component into a section, and then easily link it directly to their multi-step registration form. It's incredibly intuitive and visual.
That leads perfectly into the power of embedding. How does Power Pages enable those truly interactive and data-driven experiences by seamlessly embedding Power Apps, Dataverse Forms, and Dataverse Views?
Yeah, Power Pages really comes alive here, letting developers embed these Dataverse-powered components directly into pages, supporting incredibly interactive and dynamic experiences. We have basic forms, which used to be called web forms. These are custom interactive forms, letting users submit or edit Dataverse records directly through the portal. Super useful for everything from simple contact forms and registrations to complex multi-step applications and service requests. They can even be set up for multi-step navigation, guiding the user through structured data entry across several screens. This really improves user experience for longer forms. For instance, a university student registration portal might use a multi-step basic form guiding students through course selection, personal details, payment info, all mapped directly to Dataverse tables for seamless capture and validation. Then there are views, formerly entity lists. These components display Dataverse data in a configurable read-only or editable grid format right on your web pages. They're dynamic and interactive. Key capabilities include connecting directly to a Dataverse view, so they display data based on any system or custom view you've made in Dataverse. Users can easily search and filter results. Lists support paging and sorting for large datasets. Importantly, they also support record actions like viewing details, editing, or deleting records, with the right security permissions, of course, or linking to related records or forms. In our volunteer portal example, volunteers could see a My Activities view showing all events they've signed up for, pulled directly from Dataverse and filtered securely to show only their activities. And for truly complex UI logic or integrations not natively supported, you can even embed existing Power Apps canvas or model-driven using iframes or as part of a custom layout. These deep integrations bring your Dataverse data right into the front-end experience. Now, for dynamic content rendering and more advanced customization, developers have these exceptionally powerful tools, web templates and Liquid. Web templates, as we touched on briefly, are essentially HTML files with embedded Liquid code defining how specific pages or content blocks are rendered. They allow incredible flexibility, creating custom layouts, dynamic looping through data collections, conditional rendering based on criteria, seamless integration with Dataverse data. They're typically associated with web pages via page templates to create those custom reusable layouts across your site. Liquid Markup itself is a lightweight, open-source template language that truly enables dynamic and personalized web experiences within Power Pages. It allows for rendering user-specific content, like personalized welcome messages or role-based views. You can use Liquid to pull in lists and tables directly from Dataverse queries, implement complex conditional blocks, like if this user is a partner, show X, otherwise show Y, and execute loops to iterate through collections of data.
It sounds like Liquid is almost like the magic ink for your website then. It lets your pages adapt and change based on who's looking or what data is available, making every experience feel deeply personalized and responsive to the user's context.
That's a perfect analogy, actually, yeah. For example, you can use a simple Liquid snippet like in percent, if user, percent welcome, user.fullname, endif percent, endif percent, to greet a logged-in user by their full name. Makes the portal feel much more tailored compared to a generic welcome. Liquid is particularly useful for pro developers or advanced makers wanting to implement sophisticated personalization, complex conditional logic, or render content dynamically based on user role, Dataverse data, other variables. It gives them powerful control over the user experience.
So designing Power Pages really combines that intuitive visual approach with deep data-driven development, from flexible drag-and-drop layouts to powerful Liquid templating. Ultimately, it's about creating responsive, highly interactive, and profoundly user-centric digital experiences. Before we move to the next section, when might a developer choose to embed an entire Power App into a Power Pages site versus just building the functionality directly with Power Pages, basic forms, or views? What's the deciding factor there?
Focusing on personalization, how can that combination of web templates and Liquid Markup be strategically used to create a truly personalized and dynamic experience for a user interacting with the Power Pages site?
Okay, here's a quick practical challenge for you. Imagine you're building a self-service portal for customers. You need to display a concise list of all their current support tickets. But critically, only the tickets specifically belonging to the logged-in customer should be visible. Which type of component would you use, a basic form or a view, and how would you ensure that incredibly important data filtering so only their tickets are shown? Okay, at the absolute heart of Power Pages' power is its seamless, direct connection to data. Let's really dive into how it truly transforms into a data-driven website, making that real-time interaction a reality.
You're absolutely right. This is where Power Pages truly shines. Microsoft Dataverse acts as the crucial high-performance back-end database for Power Pages. It enables real-time, secure interaction between your external users and your structured business data. All your portal components, everything from basic forms and interactive views to complex permissions, custom templates, even fundamental site metadata, they're all stored as records directly within Dataverse tables. This tight integration offers several pivotal advantages. First, it's two-way data interaction. Power Pages can both read info from Dataverse and write new data or updates directly into Dataverse. This direct connection inherently eliminates the need for complex, often problematic, sync processes between your web front end and your core business data. Second, it provides inherently secure access. Dataverse's robust security model, combined synergistically with Power Pages' precise table permissions and web roles, ensures users only see or edit authorized data down to the row and column level.
And third, because the same unified data is used across Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, developers ensure unparalleled data consistency throughout your entire Power Platform ecosystem. No data silos, no discrepancies, just one source of truth.
So if Dataverse is your secure, perfectly organized, meticulously cataloged library of all your business info, then Power Pages acts as the friendly yet highly secure librarian. This librarian helps external users find the books they need, lets them check new ones in, maybe even update existing records, all while ensuring no one accidentally wanders into a restricted section. That makes it incredibly powerful for centralized data management and external interaction. Now let's talk about collecting data. How do you create those interactive web forms for single-step or multi-step data entry in Power Pages?
These are now called basic forms, and yeah, they are a cornerstone of data collection within Power Pages. They let developers create highly custom interactive forms that map directly to Dataverse tables. This means every field on your web form corresponds to a specific column in your chosen Dataverse table, making data capture seamless and structured. A key feature is their ability to support multi-step navigation. This lets you break down long, complex forms into more manageable, bite-sized sections like Step 1, contact info, then Step 2, preferences, then a final review step. This greatly enhances the user experience, reduces cognitive load, improves completion rates. Basic forms also support pre-population, where forms can automatically pull in existing Dataverse data for editing or personalization based on the logged-in user. And you can configure sophisticated custom behavior like conditional field visibility, dynamic display rules, or specific confirmation messages after submission. Common use cases are diverse customer registration, complex grant applications, support ticket creation, event signups. These forms can also be extensively styled with CSS and enhanced with JavaScript for added interactivity and client-side validation.
This sounds incredibly useful for guiding users through complex processes and ensuring data quality. Let's imagine a real-world scenario here, maybe involving a business analyst, BA, and a stakeholder, SBA. Okay, for our new customer onboarding, instead of that clunky, error-prone paper form, we can build a multi-step basic form right here in Power Pages. Step 1 for contact info, Step 2 for service preferences, then a final review. The beauty is it pulls and pushes data directly into our Dataverse. Yes, multi-step sounds fantastic for user experience, but what about efficiency? If they fill out their name and account number in Step 1, can the next step automatically pre-populate and show their current account type? Maybe even recommend services based on existing Dataverse records. And can we ensure their email is unique or required fields are filled before they hit submit? BA. Absolutely. We can configure pre-population from Dataverse on subsequent steps, guiding them smoothly. And yes, for data quality, we can add client-side validation using JavaScript for immediate feedback, or leverage server-side business rules right in Dataverse itself before the submission is finalized. Makes the whole process smoother, more accurate, and far more user-friendly.
That's a perfect, tangible example of how basic forms streamline complex processes. Now, beyond collecting data, you often need to display it in a structured, accessible way. How do entity lists, now called views, function in Power Pages to do that? Right, views allow developers to present Dataverse data in a highly configurable, read-only, or editable grid layout directly within your Power Pages. These lists are fully dynamic and interactive. Key capabilities include connecting directly to a Dataverse view, meaning they display data based on any system or custom view you've already created in Dataverse. Users can easily search and filter within the list. The lists support intuitive paging and sorting for navigating large data sets efficiently. Importantly, they also support record actions like viewing details, editing, or deleting records, all with appropriate security permissions applied or linking to related records or forms for deeper interaction. Common use cases include displaying active service requests, customer orders, submitted applications, or account info for logged-in users. The security for these lists is robustly managed via table permissions, ensuring users only see what they are explicitly allowed to, maintaining data integrity and privacy.
Okay, so we have basic forms for input, views for displaying data. But how do you go beyond just simple data capture and display? How do you add complex business logic, validation, manage relationships between different data points to make these interactions even more powerful and intelligent?
Oh, this is where Power Pages truly becomes a sophisticated application platform. Developers can significantly enhance user interactions by embedding business rules and logic, either directly into Dataverse or through custom scripting within Power Pages. For tools and techniques, you can leverage Dataverse business rules. These let you enforce data consistency, validate data before saving, set default field values, or dynamically show-hide fields based on logic, all without writing code. JavaScript enhancements can perform client-side validation, giving immediate feedback to the user, or trigger dynamic changes on the form based on user input, greatly improving the interactive experience. Liquid templates, as we discussed, can conditionally render entire sections or display specific data based on user roles, query results, or other dynamic criteria, making the experience highly personalized and context-aware. A particularly powerful aspect is handling relationships and lookups. You can configure one-to-many or many-to-many and relationships between Dataverse tables, use lookup fields to associate records like linking a contact to an account or a ticket to a product. This also enables cascading behavior where selecting a country, for example, automatically filters available cities in the next dropdown, streamlines entry, ensures integrity. The impact of combining this sophisticated form logic with robust relational data modeling is immense. It lets developers build highly sophisticated user experiences, multi-stage application wizards, dynamic personalized dashboards, interconnected knowledge bases, things like that.
So, Dataverse integration is undeniably central to Power Pages. Using basic forms for input, views for display, all significantly enhanced with embedded business logic for powerful, secure, and truly dynamic portal experiences. It's more than just a website. It's a living data interaction point. Now, for our listeners, what's the primary difference between a basic form and an entity list or view in Power Pages? When would you use each in a practical scenario?
And thinking about form design, how do Dataverse business rules and JavaScript contribute differently to enhancing the user experience on a Power Pages form? Where does one excel over the other?
Okay, for a deeper dive, try this practical challenge. Map out a multi-step application process for a fictional grant application using Power Pages. Think about what Dataverse tables you'd need, and specifically what information would you collect in each distinct step using a basic form. Think about validation and relationships between the data.
Right. Power Pages isn't just about static data display or simple forms. This is where it truly elevates into a dynamic, intelligent solution by seamlessly connecting with the broader Microsoft ecosystem and enabling powerful automation.
So how do you actually kick off complex automated processes or workflows using user interactions directly from your Power Pages site?
That's where Power Automate becomes your absolute go-to automation engine. It allows you to automate processes that start directly with a user interaction on your Power Pages website, like filling out a form, clicking a specific button, even updating a record. The most common integration is probably from web forms. When users submit a basic form on Power Pages, say, a support request, job application, registration, that data is immediately saved into Dataverse. You can then configure Power Automate flows using Dataverse triggers, specifically when a row is added, modified, or deleted, to automatically start a flow. This flow can then process that submitted data, maybe assign a unique case ID, notify relevant internal staff via Teams or email, or even update records in another system. Beyond form submissions, developers can add custom buttons to Power Pages. Using a combination of client-side JavaScript and secure HTTP calls, these buttons can trigger instant flows. For instance, imagine a customer support portal. A request callback button could be added. When clicked, it triggers a Power Automate flow that instantly creates a new callback record in Dataverse, assigns it to the next available support agent, and simultaneously sends immediate confirmation email to the customer, letting them know their request is received and being processed. It transforms a simple click into a sophisticated, multi-step automated process. And once triggered, these Power Automate flows really let you build robust business workflows that operate silently, efficiently in the background, extending your portal's capabilities way beyond simple data capture. For notifications, you can send real-time alerts when certain actions occur, an email confirming a user's submission, an alert to an internal team about a new request, maybe a message to a Microsoft Teams channel for quick collaboration. For approvals, Power Automate's built-in approval actions can manage complex document or application reviews, access requests, status updates based on a manager's input. The outcome approved or rejected can then automatically update Dataverse records, which in turn can reflect updated statuses right back in the Power Pages portal. For example, a grant application submitted via Power Pages triggers an approval flow for internal reviewers. Once approved, the flow automatically updates the application's status in Dataverse and sends an acceptance email to the applicant, all without manual intervention, ensuring transparency and speed. Beyond that, it handles pervasive back-end automation. You can automate data operations across various systems, syncing submitted records to SharePoint, a SQL Server database, external CRM systems, archiving old data, triggering conditional logic like escalating an issue if it's marked critical.
That capability is absolutely key. It transforms Power Pages into a truly process-driven portal, not just a static data capture front end. It makes the portal intelligent, active, capable of driving core business operations.
Absolutely. And to extend capabilities even further, many enterprise Power Pages solutions need seamless integration with third-party services, logistics, payment gateways, government registries, specialized APIs. Power Automate acts as the perfect middleware to call these external REST APIs. The process usually works like this. A user interacts with Power Pages, submits an order, requests a shipping estimate. This triggers a Power Automate flow via Dataverse event or direct HTTP request. That flow then uses the HTTP connector to securely call external APIs, passing headers, auth tokens, data payload. It handles the responses, often JSON, and can either write response data back to Dataverse, making it accessible to the portal, or process it to display results directly on the page. Common use cases include getting real-time pricing shipping estimates, validating identity via government APIs, pushing customer data to external ERP CRM systems, retrieving documents from third-party apps.
And critically, this can all be done securely, right? Because calling external APIs means handling credentials, potentially sensitive data.
Yes, securing those API calls is paramount. Power Automate lets you use various methods to protect credentials and manage integrations securely. You can leverage Azure Key Vault for storing secrets, environment variables for configuration flexibility, or custom connectors within Power Automate to encapsulate secure API calls. This ensures sensitive info is never exposed directly in the portal's client-side code.
Okay, and to really enhance user engagement, provide immediate data or assistance, Power Pages also lets you embed other powerful Microsoft services like Power BI reports or even chatbots. How do those integrations work?
That's right, they add incredible depth and interactivity. For embedding Power BI, you can use Power BI's secure embedding or public link options to display interactive dashboards and reports directly within Power Pages. This is incredibly powerful because you can filter these reports by user data, meaning a customer could log in and see their personalized sales dashboard, or a partner could view their specific performance metrics. You embed them using an iframe or the specialized Power BI component in the Design Studio, ensuring security and dynamic filtering. And for interactive conversational help, you can embed chatbots using Power Virtual Agents. These AI-powered chatbots can seamlessly assist users answering common FAQs, guiding them through complex processes, maybe even collecting pre-form data before directing them to a specific form or human agent. They're easily integrated by embedding a bot component in the Design Studio or using a JavaScript snippet. For example, a university admissions portal could include a Power Virtual Agents chatbot that answers common questions about deadlines, required documents, financial aid, and can even trigger a Power Automate flow to log a query for a human agent if needed. This enhances self-service and reduces the load on human support.
So Power Pages, when powerfully integrated with Power Automate, Power BI, and chatbots, becomes this highly dynamic, intelligent, truly enterprise-grade solution, streamlining operations, enhancing user experience, extending business processes to the external world. For our listeners, describe a scenario where a Power Automate flow initiated directly from a Power Pages form submission would dramatically reduce manual effort and improve efficiency for an organization.
And thinking about user engagement, how can Power Pages strategically utilize both Power BI and Power Virtual Agents to provide a richer, more interactive, and truly personalized experience for external users on a portal?
Okay, quick practical challenge. Think about a common notification you currently send manually to customers or partners. Maybe an email confirmation like, your request has been received. How could you automate that specific notification using a Power Pages form submission and a Power Automate flow? What would be the key steps involved? All right, when you're building any public-facing website, security isn't just a feature, it's the foundation. It's absolutely non-negotiable. Let's delve into how Power Pages ensures your data and content are robustly protected.
You're absolutely correct. Security is paramount, especially for external-facing portals. Security in Power Pages is fundamentally built upon two interconnected elements: web roles and table permissions. These two define, with incredible precision, what users can ultimately see and do on your portal. Web roles are assigned to users to define their broad access rights to pages, forms, views, specific content. There are typically three main types: authenticated roles, assigned to logged-in users like customer, partner, volunteer; the anonymous role, implicitly assigned to users who aren't logged in, allowing access to public content; and administrative roles, granting elevated access for managing the portal's backend. Web roles can be mapped automatically based on authentication provider or manually configured.
So if web roles are like job titles at a company, manager, employee, guest, then table permissions are the specific keys that job title grants you to access certain file cabinets or offices. A manager role might give keys to all departments, while an employee only has keys to their own. Creates that crucial layered security.
That's a perfect, intuitive analogy. Really drives home the distinction. Building on that, table permissions control, with exceptional granularity, which Dataverse tables and which records within those tables users can read, write, update, or delete. These permissions are defined using a specific scope like global, access to all records in the table; contact, only records related to the user's contact record; account, records related to the user's account; self, records created by the user; or parent, records related to a parent record of the user. You also explicitly define specific access rights like read, create, update, delete, append to. These precise table permissions are then linked directly to your web roles to enforce granular row level and column level security. Our fundamental best practice, emphasized in the training material, is always apply the principle of least privilege. Only grant users access to the data they absolutely need, nothing more.
Power Pages offers incredible flexibility supporting both public and private experiences on the same site. How do you actually set up and manage authenticated versus anonymous access for different parts of your portal?
Yeah, Power Pages is specifically designed to handle both public content and highly secured, personalized areas. Anonymous access means users don't log in to view content. Ideal for public info pages, knowledge bases, announcements, marketing stuff, where no user ID or personalized data is needed. For a page to be public, it must be explicitly marked for the anonymous user's web role, ensuring it's intentionally open. In stark contrast, authenticated access requires users to log in using an identity provider before they can view content. This is a prerequisite for accessing personalized dashboards, submitting viewing form data related to their account, any role-based content needing user ID and specific permissions. It's absolutely crucial to be extremely cautious here. Never expose sensitive content or data-bound components to unauthorized users, especially on public portals. A misconfiguration could easily lead to data breaches.
So how do you achieve that granular control then? How do you manage access to individual pages, those critical views, those interactive forms? Sounds like sophisticated interplay between these security components.
That granular control over visibility and interaction is exactly what role-based access control, RBAC, achieves at the page view and form level. For page access control, you assign specific web roles to restrict or allow access to particular pages. For example, you might configure the My Orders page to be viewable only by logged-in users with the customer web role. For form and view access, you assign web roles directly to your web forms and views. But here's the crucial part. You then use table permissions to enforce the precise data access rights at the underlying Dataverse table level. This means a user might be able to see a page with a form, but if they lack the right table permissions on the underlying Dataverse table, they won't be able to submit data through that form or view data in a linked list. The combination of page security and data permissions provides that full, multi-layered protection.
Let's run through a quick role-play scenario to make this concrete. We have a developer, dev, and an IT manager, ITM, discussing setting up permissions for a new portal section, dev. All right, for our new partner portal, the key is partners need to see only their own invoices, not others. I've created a partner web role, linked it to the invoice Dataverse table with contact scope for table permissions, ITM. Good. So the partner web role gives them the wristband to enter the partner area, right? But the table permission with contact scope ensures they only see the rooms the invoices associated with their own contact record is at the control. And what if we wanted to let them view but stop them from editing old invoices? Exactly. Contact scope ensures that row-level security, and the table permission also lets us specify granular access rights. Read, write, create, delete. So for the invoice table, we'd set read and create access, but explicitly not update or delete. That combination of web role and precise table permissions gives us the absolute control we need.
That's a perfect illustration of how these layers work together. And for entity lists views, you can even use advanced entity list filtering like show only records created by the current user to ensure users only see their own data, often combining this with Dataverse lookups for even finer control. Ultimately, it boils down to this fundamental equation. Web roles plus table permissions, full precise control over what content users see and what data they can access and interact with.
Finally, what authentication options does Power Pages support for users logging in? And how do organizations choose the right one for their needs?
Power Pages is incredibly flexible here, supporting various identity providers, letting users log in with credentials they already know. Supported methods include Azure Active Directory, AAD, typically best for internal employee portals or B2B portals, as it natively supports role-based access using existing Azure AD security groups. Then there are Microsoft accounts, MSA, useful for general public access or community portals, catering to users with Outlook.com or Hotmail.com accounts. You can also integrate with various external identity providers like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, using standard OpenID Connect or OAuth 2.0 protocols. This expands reach significantly. And for a fully portal-managed solution, there's local authentication. This allows email password-based accounts managed directly within your portal, including built-in features for password reset and confirmation emails. Each method can be meticulously configured in the Power Pages authentication settings. Users are automatically assigned appropriate web roles upon successful sign-in based on your configuration, ensuring a seamless, secure login.
So, Power Pages security is truly robust, managed by a powerful combination of web roles, table permissions, and flexible authentication providers. Careful planning and implementation of these controls are absolutely essential for building a user-friendly, highly secure, and compliant portal. For our listeners, what's the core difference between table permissions and web roles? How do they work in concert to secure a Power Pages site effectively?
And if you're deciding on an authentication strategy, when would you strategically consider using local authentication for your Power Pages site versus, say, leveraging Azure Active Directory or another external provider? What are the trade-offs there?
Okay, final security challenge. Imagine you have a customer web role for your self-service portal. How would you specifically configure a table permission for this role to allow customers to read information on all your products, but only edit their own personal profile information like address or phone number? Wow, we've really journeyed through Power Pages today, from its foundational place in the Power Platform ecosystem to its architecture, site creation, page design, that deep Dataverse integration, powerful automations, and crucially, its robust security model. It's been quite the deep dive.
Indeed, it has. Power Pages truly empowers organizations to build sophisticated, secure, data-driven web experiences for external users, all without needing to master those complex traditional web development stacks. It's a remarkable shortcut, really, to being well-informed and well-equipped for modern digital engagement, transforming how businesses interact with their whole ecosystem.
Considering the sheer flexibility, the integration capabilities, the low-code power of Power Pages we've explored, what's one truly innovative, maybe even industry-disrupting external-facing web application you could envision building with it? Something that addresses a current market gap or a significant pain point you see. Maybe something beyond the typical self-service portal.
We've only really scratched the surface today, of course, and we highly encourage you to explore the original Bemanda technology training material on Microsoft Power Pages directly. That's really your next step to deepen your understanding and truly start building your own transformative solutions.